We claim and will illustrate that agriculture based on unsustainable practices causes challenges, calamities and collapses that obviously should be avoided. We claim that collapses are easy to avoid, and that it is possible and preferable to invert oncoming collapse into thriving of all us humans and of biodiversity in general, this by means of carbon agroforests, and that a plan based on carbon agroforests producing foods etc. eases all our challenges and makes us all prosper. Such a plan based on Agroforest Foods would invert the unfavorable situation for the Amazon Amerindians, who best preserve the Amazon forest, into a more favorable situation. Their options would switch from the for them unfavorable conditions related to agriculture, to for them favorable conditions related to agroforest farming, etc. Agriculture only allows them agricultural production that probably does not serve themselves, while agroforests allows for a wide variety of products and unedited services. Foods, materials, and services from agroforests serve themselves all year long. Amongst the unedited services that it will provide is constant grid electricity and fuel. Electricity is much needed for conservation of foods, water and fuels for their boats, which sometimes feature gasoline outboard motors, as well as eventual drones or rare airplanes. In reality, boats, or rather canoes, are their only ways of transport. When parts of the rivers dry out, it is possible that they have no transport at all. With the above advantages serviced by carbon agroforests in place, the Amazon Amerindians can better take care of their health, and since it is clear that they are the ones that most and best preserve the Amazon forest, they also will have more options and can better preserve the Amazon forest. Something similar would be the case for the rural farmers, in Brazil called Produtores Rurais, which have to reserve 80% of their lands as forest. This when their land is located in the Amazon forest. In all other cases they have to reserve as forest 20 to 35% of their lands as forest. We assume that most of these rural farmers will see this as an unwelcome limitation of activities and eventual income, and an eventual cause of important extra costs, risks and responsibility, all without much chances for any reward. It could be very interesting if amerinds and rural farmers would unify as much as possible to organize themselves and their newly found possibilities, and defend interests that they have in common with each other. We studied 4 enigmatic and important agricultural revolutions since the Neolithic, and used the results for our arguments. Back to the present. The onset of a similar or a worse collapse should be recognized and be prevented, because in the past such collapses came at a huge price for humans, their civilizations, economies as well as animals and even plants and forests. The ideal is to tackle the onset of collapses by means of sustainable strategies like carbon agroforests, which seems to us the only significant and sustainable action that make us humans thrive infinitely, and build a horn of abundance in the food sense as well as all materialistic senses, and above all of health. Since the extensive research on groups of people with exceptional health, we have a new much higher reference and standard of what health should be. The people of the group of people studied for over 20 years that present this exceptional health, obtained all their food from agroforests. These agroforests are characterized by carbon-rich soils, which are unique to the Amazon forest and called Amazon dark earth soils, ADE soils, or Terra Preta. These agroforests present extreme biodiversity and productivity, and have the potential to produce all that humans need.